Have you ever come across an artwork that had you swept away? It's probably one that depicts the goddess of love and beauty. Nothing says Renaissance art better than The Birth of Venus. It's an iconic painting created by the Italian artist Sandro Botticelli, sometime around 1484 to 1486. The piece depicts the birth of the goddess Venus, also known as Aphrodite in Greek mythology. But who is she, and what does this piece signify? And what inspired Botticelli to create it? Let's get into it. Alessandro di Mariano Filipepi, or as we know him, Sandro Botticelli, was born in Florence, Italy around 1445. As one of the best painters of the Florentine Renaissance, he was quite well known. His works La Primavera and The Birth of Venus are still cited as modern audiences' best representations of the Renaissance ethos. Sandro Botticelli was an apprentice to a jeweler after finishing school, but because he loved painting, his father assigned him to study with one of the most renowned Florentine masters, Filippo Lippi. The early Florentine Renaissance painterly technique of Lippi was crucial to Botticelli's development as an artist, and his influence can be seen even in his later works. He learned panel painting and fresco methods from Lippi, who also provided him a firm grasp of linear perspective. From Lippi, Botticelli learned a variety of compositions, a linear sense of form, and a fondness for some softer hues that's evident even after Botticelli created his own powerful color schemes. By the year 1470, Botticelli had already established himself in Florence as a master of art with an independent workshop. He was totally engrossed in his passion, so much so that he never got married and lived with his family all his life. Now, coming to his masterpiece, The Birth of Venus. In ancient mythology, Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. They say her birth from the sea is a symbol of the cycle of life and the power of love to create and inspire. Botticelli's interpretation of this mythological event is unique in its portrayal of Venus as a woman of great elegance and poise, radiating an air of divine grace. It was commissioned by Lorenzo di Pierfrancesco de' Medici, a member of the influential Medici family in Florence. They were patrons of the arts and played a huge role in supporting the Renaissance artists, including Botticelli. The painting was likely created as a decorative piece for Lorenzo's villa, showcasing the family's appreciation for classical mythology and their desire to align themselves with the goddess of love and beauty. Now, the introduction of the figure of the naked goddess emerging from the shell, drifting on shore, is the focal point of this stunning mythical composition. Oh, and because they're both regarded as symbols of the Italian Renaissance and have some similarities, this masterpiece is sometimes compared to Botticelli's other artwork, Primavera. Many art fanatics have done comparative analyses of Botticelli's Venus and Primavera over the years. You see, Primavera is far more intricate and choked with layers, while The Birth of Venus aims to arouse all of the senses. On the left, the female peer of the wind god Zephyr practically introduces her. Giorgio Vasari, a contemporary of Botticelli and art historian, claimed that this figure symbolizes aura, a personification of a gentler breeze blowing towards her. And on Venus's right is a woman holding out a cloak or dress to cover her as she gets to the shore. She represents one of the three minor Greek goddesses of the seasons, known as Horae, or hours. In fact, her floral gown's embellishment hints that she is the Hora of spring. It's not wrong to say that the way we view the female body in terms of glorifying its divine beauty, as well as its sensuality and subtlety, has been completely altered by this early Renaissance artwork. And because of this, it's no surprise that Botticelli's Venus became one of the foundations of the Western art history and is still widely praised today. In his later years, Botticelli is said to have become disabled, but he and his family continued to enjoy relative prosperity. He earned commissions all through the 1490s, and in 1505, he was still paying his dues to the Florentine Painters Guild, the Company of St. Luke. But The lack of any new commissions and the nature of the very last of his sketches imply that he may have succumbed to illness. He was buried at the church of Ognissanti after passing away in 1510. There are still about 50 paintings either entirely or partially created by him. Many of his masterpieces are part of the wonderful collection of his works at the Uffizi Gallery. With this, we're signing off for today, hoping this video brought something new for you. Before you leave, comment to tell us what your understanding of the birth of Venus is. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified from us for the upcoming videos. See you all next time. Goodbye.